Hi everybody, my name's John Newsom. I am your race director for the Sea2Sky Challenge. We're going to be operating this event under COVID-19 Alert Level 2, which means we have to keep our groups socially distant and our groups can be no more than 100 people. It's going to be absolutely critical that all of you guys are on board and you fully understand how the day is going to pan out, where you need to be at what times, and you follow all the guidelines we have in place. Of most importance is if you are not feeling well at all, please do not come to the event. Before race day, registration will be as outlined in the race manual on Friday and Saturday. Unless you're outside the Greater Christchurch area, you need to collect your race bags. It's fine for athletes to pick up multiple race packs for friends and colleagues. As you can see in this map here, we're going to be dividing the transition area up into different zones, and you can only go into your zone. So zone 1, which is going to be white numbers, is for the faster athletes doing the full challenge. Zone 2 is going to be for the less fast athletes doing the full challenge with yellow numbers. Zone 3 is for the junior and triathlon athletes. Then we'll have the kids in their little transition zone by the steps in front of the cafe. And then in a separate area, we will have the runners up at Sumner Vale Reserve, where they will be starting their event, with this reserve being divided into two groups as well. Group 1 with blue numbers will be the faster group, and Group 2 with the orange numbers will be the less fast group. For parking, we are trying to maintain separation between the groups. So athletes are requested that they only arrive at Scarborough or the Sumner Vale transition area within their designated time slot for checking in. If you're early, please wait in your car. You can see on this map the different areas we would like you to park. So Zone 1 is along the Esplanade, Zone 2 is on Nayland Street, but please do not park on the course. Zone 3, and for the kids event, park on Menzies Street, and for the run events, Group 1 to park on Wiggins Street and Group 2 to park on Hardwick Street. So arriving onto site, this is where it's going to start to get interesting. We'll have the COVID-19 Tracer app QR codes on display for you to scan around registration, in transition area and in other spots around the event. The transition area will be fenced off into different areas depending on which zone you're in. Athletes must arrive in your designated time slot. Once you have entered the transition area and into your zone, you must stay in your zone. Please don't leave your area to go to do warm-ups, and certainly don't intermingle with the other zones. So you have been allocated your zone based off your predicted time. In your race pack, you'll have a sticker to go on your helmet and also a race number, bib number. Please wear those when you do enter the race site so you can be directed to the correct entry point. As you can see in this map, there will be an entry point to the left-hand side for athletes in Zone 2, and there will be another entry point for those in Zone 1 and Zone 3, sort of you can see that in the middle of the map. So athletes in Zone 1, your reporting time is between 7:20 and 7:40 AM. Zone 2 is 7:40 to 8 AM, and Zone 3 is 8 o'clock until 8:20 AM. For those athletes doing the run challenge, as with the duathlon event, you can only arrive on site during your allocated times. So if you're in Group 1, that is between 8:20 and 8:35 AM. And if you're in Group 2, that is 8:45 until 9 AM. As with the duathletes, there will be a bag drop next to your entry point into your area. You can put any warm-up gear that you have in those bags. They'll be transported to Sumner School for you to collect after the race. As with the other area as well, you must only use the toilets in your particular zone. Okay, the starting procedure is going to be different again. So for the full Sea2Sky Duathlon Challenge, the start area will be on the beachfront in front of the clock tower in front of Ocean Cafe. You are not to report to the start zone until 15 minutes before your race start, as directed by the MC. So we're going to have two different start times for the two different zones. You'll be allocated a wave start number based on your predicted time. There'll be cones lined up in a grid along in the start area. so you can maintain social distancing. You'll stand behind one of the small cones in your designated wave and move forward a bit like a conveyor belt as each group starts. 15 athletes will start every 30 seconds, with the Zone 1 athletes starting at 8:20, then there'll be a break once they've all finished, and Zone 2 athletes starting at 8:40, again 15 athletes starting every 30 seconds. For those of you doing the run only challenge, similar rules apply. Please do not report until the park until your check-in time, and stick to your zone within the park. Please do not mingle with other athletes in other zones, even if they are in your bubble. Only warm up in your zone area. There's going to be 2 start times for the different groups. Within these groups, we ask you to roughly seed yourselves, so you will not be given wave start numbers like the duathletes. You can self-seed yourselves. Cones will be lined up in a similar fashion to the other start you've just seen in a grid. Athletes will stand behind a cone, move forward as the group in front starts. 10 athletes will start every 30 seconds. The reason we can do self-seeding with your group is because your start time will not actually take place until you're around about 100 meters into your run. You'll run over a timing mat, and then that will officially start your race. 10 athletes will start every 30 seconds. We will have Group 1 starting at 9 o'clock and then Group 2 starting from 9:15. For the junior and the try event, in terms of their start, the start area will be in the same spot in front of the Ocean Cafe on the beach. Please do not report to this zone until 10 to 15 minutes before your start, as directed by the MC. Athletes will be allocated a wave start number, and we suggest that parents write that wave number down on children's hands, and then we will send them off in waves in a similar fashion to all the other groups. So cones will be lined up in a grid for the start area. Athletes will stand behind their cone and move forward like a conveyor belt. We'll be starting 15 athletes every 30 seconds. For the kids race, the water will be pretty fresh. We're still going to get them to do a wade and a run. So if the children and the parents can report to the transition area, which is in front of Ocean Cafe, as you can see in this image. The reporting time is 8:35 to 8:45, and then the race director, myself, will take the children off to their start and give them a briefing then. So the race start is at 9:10. So some important requirements within the race. Given we have wave starts, we expect there will be some crossover with cyclists at the Evans Pass intersection. So please read up about that. There is a timing mat before and after the intersection, so whatever time you have to stand there waiting, which we hope is a short duration, that time will not be included in your finish time at the end of the race. This is a non-drafting race, which enables us to have social distancing on the bike. Important, there are no aid stations, so make sure you have a drink when you finish the bike leg, and consider carrying a water bottle or a pack, especially if you're doing the run only event. Please, when you pass someone on the run, try to make a wide pass and avoid following athletes at a close distance. There's absolutely no spitting during the event or clearing of your nose, and please no littering at all, because we are running over dock land, but you shouldn't be littering anyway. If you're taking part in the teams race, can we please not have the team runners go into the transition area? Report directly to the buses that will be parked on the corner of Heberdean and the Esplanade, and go onto the buses, and you'll be transported out to Godley Head. The buses will be departing at around about 8:15, 8:20 at the absolute latest. So if you miss the bus, unfortunately there will be no run. All runners are required to wear a mask or a face covering on the bus or the minivans that you need to provide. There is enough space on the buses to be socially distanced. If you are the first runner within a team, simply report to the start line at your allocated time, ready to go. On to finishing. So those that have raced previously, the finish line will be in a slightly different position, a little bit further down the promenade. So upon finishing the race, athletes will be directed immediately into transition. If they're one of the duathletes, you must go to your own zone and your own zone only, remove your timing transponder, put it into the box that is at the entry point, collect your gear, and then depart the site at the same point that you entered at the beginning of your day. For run-only athletes, return your transponder just beyond the finish line, then please proceed straight down the promenade in front of the cafe and exit the event site. If you're doing the kids race, parents, can you please meet your children at their transition area? So really important that we listen to all these finishing instructions, go to the right area, and then you need to leave the site. Then you need to go and collect your bike. If you were doing the full challenge, bikes will be returned to Sumner School. Athletes are required to walk or drive down to Sumner School, which is less than 1 kilometre away, enter via Dryden Street, which is off Hardwick Street, and the exit is via Colenso Street. The school field will be divided into zones, as with other parks, so there is plenty of space for social distancing. The trucks will be leaving Godley Head from 10:30 AM, so we expect the bikes to arrive by 11 AM, but we do need to unload them. You need to just leave the crew to unload all the bikes because again we cannot have the groups mixing. Unfortunately, with this event being at level 2, we do ask that you discourage any spectators from attending the event. For those that must come to transport children or other athletes, please scan the COVID-19 Tracer app QR code on arrival, then spectate well beyond the transition area on the promenade towards Cave Rock. So just a few post-race things. There will be no prize giving for this event, unfortunately. Medals and trophies will be able to be collected from a venue that we will confirm after the race. Also, please understand that we will pass over your personal information to the Ministry of Health if anyone associated with the event returns a positive COVID-19 test. And also if you or any close contact return a positive COVID-19 case within 2 weeks of the event, please contact us and the Ministry of Health immediately. So summing up the really important points everybody needs to adhere to, we're all in this together in terms of making sure this event showcases how events in the future can be run at level 2. So arrive at the event at your designated time. Know your zone or group entry point. Only use the toilets in your zone. Kids 5 to 9 year olds can use the public toilets. Once you enter your event sort of race zone, you need to stay there until you're called to your start line 15 minutes before your start. The starting sequence for the full challenge duathlon, you'll be given a wave number. 15 athletes start every 30 seconds. For the run challenge, you can self-seed yourself within your group start time with 10 athletes starting every 30 seconds. Juniors and the Tri-A duathlon groups will also be done in a wave start. You will be allocated your wave, and the kids race we will have 1 group start. Maintain your social distancing of 2 meters at all time through the course, and remember there are no aid stations at all on the course, so you need to be completely self-sufficient. When you finish, proceed directly into your transition zone or head directly to Sumner School if you're in the run-only event to collect your gear and depart the site. Bags and bikes will be collected from Sumner School from 11 AM. Access is via Dryden Street. And finally, the kids' transition area is in front of Ocean Cafe. Thanks for your support, everybody. We know this is going to be a different event. Please try as hard as you can to take all the information on board, have some patience, say thanks to marshals, and enjoy the view out there. It's I consider this to be the most scenic short distance triathlon anywhere in the world, so have fun. You'll also receive a race manual via email and it will be on the website. This contains all of the details with regards to each of the individual disciplines, race rules, etc. So that's it. We hope you have a fantastic race and we look forward to seeing you at a whole bunch of events over summer and back again next March.